Hey, YouTube fans, how are ya? It's time for edition 3 of Rita Reads and talks about books while putting on makeup. Woo, party! It's a party in a neck collar. Let's get it on. It's gonna be real. Now, you may be thinking, dang, doesn't this old lady have anything more to do than make stupid YouTube videos about the things she reads? Well, a couple of answers to that question. One, they're not stupid. They're smart videos. Two, they're not really technically even YouTube, because I still don't technically have a YouTube channel or YouTube subscribers, but it's in the works. Three, no, I don't have anything better to do. I just had neck surgery, okay? So I'm bored and I'm at home and I'm trying to fill my time. And four, I'm not old. I'm like middle-aged, solidly middle-aged. Okay, so today I want to talk to you about a book that I read that I loved. It's in the horror genre. So far, I've talked to you about 3 books that I really liked. The first one was historical fiction, and it was called The Vanishing Half. Great. Then I talked to you about a memoir that I loved, The Good Hand. Absolutely fabola. And now today I want to talk to you about one of my favorite genres, horror. I loves to be scared. And this one I didn't have high expectations for, but for some reason I picked it up anyway. Let me show it to you for this camera thingy. This is the book. It was called The Return by Rachel Harrison. And you can see that on Goodreads it didn't get all that great of reviews. It got 3.6, but I gave it a 4 out of 5, and I actually probably would have given it higher. Sometimes I'm crabby when I review, so it only got 4 out of 5. But I really, really liked it. It was super fun. So let me tell you about it. You will not want to read this if you get creeped out easy, because I do not get creeped out easy. In fact, it takes a lot to creep me out. I mean, a whole lot. I'm even in a club called the Scary Ladies Club. Scary Ladies of St. Croix Falls, greater area club. There's a whole bunch of us, and we like to go to scary movies together during the daytime when we can. And none of us have, so none of us have ever been scared by a movie, except one time I was scared by that movie Annabelle, because that was super scary. But otherwise, we haven't been really scared. Well, this book, The Return, kind of creeped me out. In some places, I was like, ooh, a little bit afraid to sleep. So that's pretty high marks. If a book scared me, if you have even a little bit of scaredy pants in you, it's going to scare you. So anyway, it's called The Return for a good reason. It's about, it centers on a group of 4 best friends who met in college. They're kind of 4 misfits. They're misfits for various reasons. One is called Julie, and Julie has an eating disorder and some phobias and some generalized anxiety, and even though she's totally gorgeous and no one who didn't know her would ever know it, she's got some serious mental illnesses that kind of hold her back and make her doubt herself. And then her best friend is Elise, and the book's protagonist, the main character, is Elise. And Elise is, she grew up in a strange household where she didn't get the loving support she needed from her nuclear family, and has tended to make some poor choices in terms of her romantic involvements, has a penchant toward falling for married men who don't want what's best for her, and then just kind of dropping her whole life and following them to the ends of the earth. So she and Julie, you know how when there's a group of 4, like a best friend group, there tends to be a couple that pair off and are better friends than others. So Julie and Elise are besties. And then the other 2 are May and Maggie, I think, May and Maggie. And May is a fashion, she's in the fashion world, but she is also she is adopted child of Southern folks. She got a Southern accent, and she She talks in her southern accent and all the other girls make fun of her. But not only does she have that southern accent, but she has the appearance of a Chinese woman because she was adopted from China. So people are always asking her, "Where are you from, girl?" And then to make matters even just a little bit more odd or unusual for her, she happens to have albinism. So she has got the clear white skin and the white hair and the eyes that are sort of pinkish. And then her best friend in the group of four is Molly. And Molly suffered cancer as a youngster and has lost a leg due to cancer and has one prosthesis, one prosthetic leg. So they're a group that's had their trials and travails, but they've stayed together and supported each other through thick and thin. They're truly besties. Well, what happens is Julie, who's the loudest and the most flamboyant of them, decides she's going to go off and get married. And strangely, she marries this guy that's not really, she was always a mover and a shaker, and people expected her to be the one that would marry somebody who would like be rich and famous or something. But she doesn't. She marries a small town boy and moves to Maine to run a B&B in an old house. So she moves there with this guy, carpenter guy, hard working with his hands guy. And they go and they live in this B&B in Maine. And something happens and Julie's just like, okay, I got to get my head on straight. I need to get out here and just be. So she texts her friends and says, I'm going for a walk in the woods for a couple days. I'll see you guys later. I got to get my head straight, figure out if I've done the right thing here. So she goes out in the woods. Long story short, disappears. No one sees her for 2 years. They finally pronounce her dead and have a funeral and start to move on with their lives. Well, all the while, Elise, who remembers Julie's number one top dog best friend, says, no, I know Julie's not dead. She's not dead. It's just not possible. She's not dead. I feel it in my bones. She's not dead. Remember the name of the book? The Return. Ooh. Well, sure enough, 2 years later, after everybody's mourned and grieved and they've had a funeral and everybody's kind of moved on, except for Elise, Julie walks out from nowhere back into her house. Claims she has zero memories of where she was. Doesn't have any memory of it at all. The thing is, she looks like Julie. She sounds like Julie, but some things are not quite right. She doesn't seem quite right. There's an odd smell about her. Kind of an icky smell. She'll bleed from her gums and every once in a while lose a tooth or two. She won't sleep with her husband anymore. There are things she just doesn't know or understand that she should know and understand. She doesn't call her best friends right away. Something's not right. Well, May, the big fashion designer, decides she wants to get all the friends back together and just see, can they just, maybe just getting together and having some normalcy between friends will help Julie get her mojo back. And, who knows what happened. Julie says she doesn't want to know. She says, don't take me to any doctors. I don't want to know. Let it be. Whatever happened, it must have been horrible. Let me just forget it and move on with my life, which I totally get. I think that's actually not the worst idea. So they go to this crazy hotel. It's one of those hotels. They used to have them all the time in the 70s and 80s where they were theme rooms, and each room has like a different literary theme, or like one of them's the love room with all red pillows, and one of them's the garden room, and it's got, gardens, and one of them's the Edgar Allan Poe room and so forth. And so it's a crazy hotel like that. So they're staying in that hotel and all of a sudden things start getting weird. And this is where I started getting freaked out because stuff starts happening in the hotel and the skin crawls on the back of your neck and it just starts getting wild and weird and wacky. Well, finally it comes out. Julie just starts to transform. The skin starts to fall off her and she's sallow and she looks like a walking death. Her just skin and bones. She loses all of her teeth and new sharp teeth come in, but somehow the girls are still convinced they can save her. They think it's some kind of weird illness she's picked up. I don't know, seems impossible to believe, but I was trapped into it. I thought maybe they could do something. If it were my best friend, dudes, if it were you guys, my best friends, I would try and save you. I I think. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. So finally, what happens is, in the end, it turns out some terrible thing had befallen Julie. But because Julie loves Elise so much, she came to take Elise with her. And Elise has to fight Julie off so that she doesn't go the way that Julie went. And you'll have to read The Return to find out exactly what happens. But I will tell you this, I highly recommend it. It turns funny. It's if you're a girl and you had good girl friendships, you'll recognize a lot of parts in it as things that you and your girlfriends did or said or acted like, and that's fun. And then if you like creepy, scary, it's your book. I think you'll really enjoy it. So I'm going to top this off, this makeup that I did today, with a little bit of glitter lipstick. That's right, you can get lipstick with the glitter right in it. And get me nice and glittery. And then I'm going to tell you that I hope you are reading and enjoying your books. And really, truly, I hope you pick up a copy of The Return and give it a read. I'll put the title and author in the comments. Happy reading. Here, full effect. Ouch, did I ruin it? Am I not pretty? I'm not pretty anymore. I'm sorry, I ruined it. Oh, wait. Don't hate me because I'm beautiful. Bye-bye.